Hey everyone, Daniel here and welcome back to another video. I hope all of you are having a phenomenal day out there as always. Here today, I want to talk to you about the VGX token because yesterday I went ahead, pulled the trigger and bought my first batch of it. And in this video, I want to talk to you about three main things. First and foremost, exactly what the VGX token is, why I'm so bullish, and some catalysts to watch. Next, a very interesting divergence that I found with the price of the VGX token and its fundamentals. And lastly, we're going to go through the difference between the VGX token and Voyager digital stock, the similarities, the differences, and which ones I prefer. So if you end up enjoying this video at all, please consider subscribing and let's get into it. First and foremost, when we talk about the VGX token, it's essentially a bet on Voyager Digital itself. Voyager Digital is a cryptocurrency trading platform that has had a lot of success over the past couple of months. The VGX token is the backbone of the Voyager loyalty program, which is yet to be released over the coming weeks and months. The Voyager loyalty program is based entirely off of ownership of VGX tokens. The three different tiers have different eligibility requirements. So for example, the Adventurer tier is 500 VGX tokens, the Explorer tier 5,000, and the Navigator tier 20,000. And as you kind of progress and kind of move up in the rankings, you get more rewards and more cash back and more money essentially. So as you kind of increase your eligibility or your ownership in VGX, you get more rewards. And this is more interest, more cash back on trades, refer a friend rewards, withdrawal fee savings, and then eventually cash back on your debit card, no debit card fees, and a free access to the desktop app. So once this loyalty program ends up going live, you're going to be incentivized to hold at least 500 VGX tokens, no matter, what kind of cryptocurrency user you are, whether you're a trader or whether you're a long-term holder, because you get more cash back on your trades and you get more annualized interest on top of that. So it really is a program that benefits every type of trader or long-term holder on the platform and will really incentivize them to use the platform. Now, the loyalty program is not yet launched. Why? Because we're awaiting the LGO and VGX token merger. Once this merger ends up going through, the loyalty program will go live, and once that happens, we'll really start to get that use case kicking in for the VGX token, because currently there is no use case, right? Currently it's just a token, but once this loyalty program goes live, the use case for it will be released, and that's obviously these different rewards here on the program. Now, when will this loyalty program end up going live? We don't know a certain date at this moment in time. We know that it's most likely going to be within the next couple of months. One big date to watch is this Tuesday. Voyager Digital reports their earnings. That's actually the company. But we're hoping to get some sort of update when it comes to the loyalty program on potentially the earnings call or potentially a release made by the company. So watch that date. That may be a very big catalyst. It's actually tomorrow to watch and potentially listen to any news from the loyalty program and this token merger that we're having with LGO. Now, once this merger does end up going through, again, the use case will be released, and we expect a bump in the token, and we expect essentially Voyager, as in the Voyager token, to begin tracking total funded accounts yet again, because as new funded accounts come onto the platform and as new funded accounts grow on Voyager Digital, more people will be incentivized to hold VGX, and that should push the price up even further. Now, when we talk about what's been happening in the stock, or rather the token, over the past couple of months here, we have seen a major downtrend from in and around over $7 per token, all the way down to $2.30 per token. Why is this? Not because the company hasn't been executing, but because of the continued delay in the loyalty program. Once this ends up going live, again, that creates the use case, and that creates the opportunity for the VGX token to move up in price. Currently, there's nothing really fundamentally backing it because of the fact that there is no loyalty program. Once that goes live, things change. So we have seen a major dip over the past couple of months because of that, despite continued improvement in fundamentals, and this is what I want to talk about right now. If we take a look at this chart, we see the growth that Voyager has experienced over the past couple of months when it comes to new funded accounts. Back in January, we had 135,000 total funded accounts on the platform. As of May, we're sitting in and around 500 to 550,000 total funded accounts, a massive increase over the past couple of months. And if you expect this growth to stop in the coming months, you're most likely wrong, because the demand for Voyager as in the platform is off the charts and will most likely continue to be very high as long as cryptocurrencies remain popular, which I don't really see that happening unless we enter a bear market this year, which I find highly unlikely. So despite continued improvement in the fundamentals of the token, because obviously the VGX token, the price of it, should technically be backed by the amount of total funded accounts that can take advantage of that loyalty program, the fundamentals are continuing to improve, yet the price continues to drop, and that is why I chose to buy in yesterday. I ended up getting pretty lucky with my timing. I bought in at around $1.90 per token, in and around there. I'm comfortable with my position right now, but if it does end up dipping, I'll be happy to add more over time. Now, the reason I ended up buying kind of yesterday out of all days is because of earnings coming out tomorrow. I do expect some sort of news or some sort of talk about the loyalty program to emerge either on the conference call or in the actual report that potentially gives us insight into a potential date for this token swap and thus the release of the loyalty program. So it's almost like a catalyst for a catalyst, where the main catalyst for VGX is the token swap and the release of the loyalty program, but the catalyst for that is the launch, essentially the announcement that is to be made of the date. Once that happens, I expect positivity to be surrounding VGX, and I think there is a chance that that may happen on Tuesday, thus tomorrow. Now, talking about exactly what my opinions are on the VGX token versus Voyager digital stock. Now, a majority of my stock market portfolio consists of the Voyager digital stock. I think it's around 35 to 40% at this moment in time. I am a believer in Voyager Digital, which is why I also bought the VGX token yesterday. Now, my position in VGX is not as big as it is in Voyager Digital stock, mainly because I didn't want to sell any Voyager shares in order to buy VGX because the capital gains taxes would not be too pretty. But, I put in what I could into VGX. I'm happy with my position. If Voyager ends up coming to Canada, I get some nice rewards alongside that. And if it ends up dipping even more, I'm happy to kind of continue dollar cost averaging in. Again, I think over the next couple of months, there will be more positivity surrounding it, as fundamentals have improved with VGX despite the price of it dropping. So now I want to touch on the differences and the similarities between the VGX token and Voyager digital stock itself. We have a lot of different people that watch this channel, some of which own the VGX token. Some might own Voyager digital stock. Some might own both, and some might not own either, but are thinking to themselves, which one do I buy? So now I want to touch on the similarities and the differences of the two and which one I prefer. Talking about the VGX token first, a bet on VGX is a bet on one main thing: total funded account growth. As more people come onto the platform, more people will be incentivized to purchase VGX to participate in the Voyager loyalty program. As more people come onto the platform, more people will have that incentive to buy VGX. Now, currently, this relationship between the price of VGX and total funded account growth has been severed for one main reason: the delays in the loyalty program. But once the swap goes through, and once the loyalty program does go live, this relationship will be reignited, and we'll see that correlation between the two start up again. Now, talking about Voyager digital stock, it's more of a diversified bet on Voyager digital. Why? Because it's primarily based on the amount of revenues and profits that Voyager digital is generating, and currently this comes from essentially principal value traded, the amount of cryptocurrencies traded on Voyager digital within any given month. So, as cryptocurrencies remain popular and as total funded accounts continue to grow, we should continue to see an increase in revenues and profits, and thus an increase in Voyager's stock price. Now, the thing about the stock is that it's not based solely on total funded account growth. As the company releases new products and new revenue generating sources, the current funded accounts will generate even more profits, leading to a point where you don't necessarily need a significant increase in total funded accounts to get a significant increase in revenues and profits. So the Voyager stock is a bet on revenues and profits, which come from pretty much all things that Voyager does. The VGX token is a bet on total funded accounts and a bet on the success of the loyalty program. That is the difference between the two. If I was having to buy one here today, I would most likely choose the stock, and here is why. They've both been beaten down very hard over the past couple of months for no real reason. The VGX token for the continued delay of the program, which in my opinion shouldn't really be such a major catalyst, as fundamentals have continued to improve at Voyager in a major way. We're just waiting for the kind of the loyalty program to be released. Once it's released, its use case will go live. Talking about the Voyager digital stock, it's been beaten down despite continued improvements in revenues, profits, total funded accounts, and principal value traded. Both kind of cryptocurrency and stock has had fundamentals improve on a high level and also has had stock price decline significantly. So when I talk about which one I like more, personally, I like the stock because I think it's more of a safer bet. Despite the VGX token potentially having more upside, you do need to consider that it is a bet on the loyalty program, while essentially the stock is a bet on the actual platform. So that's my opinion. I like both the VGX token and Voyager digital stock. I think the stock is a little bit safer, but I'm not being negative on VGX whatsoever. I own both. I own VGX. I own Voyager digital stock. I think they'll both do very well throughout the remainder of the year and the long run. So if you enjoyed this video whatsoever and found any value in it at all, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.